Hey everyone, I hope you are doing really well. I am finally back after a little bit of break this past January. It has been really busy. It was kind of a gray, gloomy month. I don't know if it went by quickly or slowly. It was just one of those months that feels like it was a bit of a blur because I did keep myself pretty busy. I've been reorganizing corners of my home, cleaning out closets and IKEA carts. I've had my head down in my studio, setting up all of my planners and journals for the year. I've been knitting a little bit. I've been working quite a bit. I've got lots of project bags in the works. I've got new leather items planned for this spring, and I've got a big leather update coming up this weekend. So it's been really busy but good. I hope that you guys have had a wonderful start to your new year. And I've been collecting a few things that I really wanted to share with you for quite a few weeks now. I've got a finished object that I want to share with you. I've got new knitting projects lined up, a few new whips, a couple of books that I've really been enjoying, some new knitting things that I've purchased. There's just quite a bit I want to share with you today, so I'm going to get started. First, and probably the most exciting thing I want to share with you today is this finished object. I finally completed my Wave of Change jacket, which is a pattern from Denise Bayron of Bayron Handmade. It is a really beautiful pattern, super easy to follow, quite enjoyable to knit. I think that if you are an advanced beginner and you are a little bit adventurous and are okay with looking up a few techniques that maybe you don't know, this is a pretty easy pattern to follow. The fit is gorgeous. It is exactly how I envisioned it, and I love it. The yarn also is absolutely perfect. So let me share a little bit more about it. I'm going to stand up to give you a look at it. I decided to not put buttons on it. I know some people add buttons, some people don't. I just thought it looked super cute like this, and I think it's going to be great with cargos or denim jeans. I have 3/4 length sleeves, and I knit the second size up. I don't know what it's called, but the second size. I can't remember if I followed everything exactly. I think I did when it came to sleeve length and body length. I'm pretty sure I did. I just know that I would try it on to make sure it worked for me, and I pretty much kept to the pattern exactly how it was written. I'm really happy with it. I love the fit. I've woven in all the ends and blocked it, and I was a little worried at first because before I blocked it, it looked like the sleeve might have really tapered in where I did the decreases, but once I blocked it, it was completely fine. I have a feeling it's just because it is a bulky weight sweater, and it really needed a good soak and block to get it into what it looks like now. I love it. I am so happy with it. And let's talk about this yarn, because this yarn is stunning. The color is like a dream color to me. I had a vision. I really love Cézanne sweaters. I don't know if you know the brand. They are from France. I have a couple of their sweaters that I've been collecting over the years. They are really special pieces to me, but their colors are just totally up my alley. And there was a sweater similar to this color that I had envisioned making this in, and I messaged my friend Amanda from Sweet Skein of Mine, and she actually had a yarn already that she had dyed up. She just needed to dye me a batch for this sweater, and it is perfect. The color is called Past the Merlot. It is her bulky weight, and I love it. It is soft. I did not alternate skeins. I don't think I've ever done that. I just think it is perfect. I'm really, really happy with it, if you couldn't tell. I just took some pictures of it this morning. I'm going to try to update my Ravelry because I haven't been doing that for a while, but I really want to for this sweater because I think it is so pretty. I did have a little bit of trouble with my edges curling, but I think it's fine. I think it's really pretty and it's going to go perfectly in my wardrobe. So that is my finished object. I've been really just trying to focus on this whenever I had any knitting time this past month, and I finally finished it about a week ago. It's taken me a few days to get around to weaving in the ends and blocking it, and I think it took 3 or 4 days on the mats to completely dry, but now I can finally wear it and enjoy it. In addition, I have been trying to focus on very few knitting projects just so that I can finish a few things and move on. I'm really enjoying working that way with my knitting, but I am starting to feel a little antsy. I want to cast on something new, but I am so close to finishing a couple of other projects that I'm trying to persevere. So I will share this basket with you. I shared a photo of it on Instagram about a week ago. I think it was last week, because this was my weekend knitting basket. I wanted to really devote a lot of time to knitting over that weekend, and so I pulled this basket together with all of these projects in it that needed some attention, were easy to see so that I could grab them, and it's been working really well for me. I've had it near me wherever I am on the main floor, and I've made a little bit of progress on a couple of projects. So the first one is a pair of socks that I have in one of my older small project bags. I decided to pull this one out because it is one of my favorites for many reasons. One, it is a DK weight sock, and I love DK weight socks. Two, it is a colorway that is possibly my favorite colorway ever, and it's also from some of my favorite ladies, Legacy Fiber Arts. It is called After Dinner Mints, and it's perfection. This is the first sock that has been done for quite a while. I used Kay Litton's pattern for her DK weight vanilla sock. I think that's what it's called. Super easy, really enjoyable to knit. It's kind of like potato chip knitting. I really enjoy this. So I decided to pull out the second sock because I already had the cuff done and most of the leg, and because it's a shorty, didn't take me long to wrap that part up and start to move on to the heel flap. So this is the progress I made one afternoon, maybe two. I am just about done the heel flap. I'm using Knit Pro Zing's DPN needles. These are a US 3, which is a 3.25 millimeter. I really enjoy these needles. They are probably my favorite DPNs. And I just keep this one kind of at the top of my basket so that I can grab it and work on it. I know that once that heel is turned and the gusset is done, and I do the decreases, it will literally fly off my needles. I just need to get past that little part. So I've been keeping it out in the mornings with my coffee, or if I sit down at the kitchen table. It's just a perfect project to pick up and work on. So that is the first one. The next project that I'm pulling out of my basket is in this bunny bag in the color Sand. And I actually have all of the small project bags in the basket just left open so that I can easily see what's in them and grab whatever I feel like working on. And in here, I have a project that is so close to being completed. I really just need to focus on it and get it done. This is the Stockholm hat from Petite Knits It is a really beautiful, simple pattern that is all rib. So it is plush and warm and cozy. It's quite thick and substantial feeling. And I am only about 1 or 2 rows away from starting the decreases. Really excited about this one, but the weather has kind of changed this past week. It's been sunny and warmer, and this one just feels kind of warm. I haven't been picking it up, but I really need to. We will probably have a lot more cold weather around here. Winter is not done. And this would be really nice to wear on some of those cold, windy days. It's so pretty. This yarn is absolutely gorgeous. It is DK and mohair held together. They are both Chelsea Luxe yarns, and the color is Sugar Plum. I do love purples. I've always loved purple, but I am on a real purple kick this year. I'm obsessed with this color. Oh, and you can see when it's held together, it just softens and looks so beautiful. I love a little bit of that pooling that's going on. I think it's gorgeous. I need to finish this up. I've got not much left to go. I've got a gorgeous Progress Keeper on here as well. This is from my friend Maria's shop called Forest Charms on Etsy. She is Woolen Forest on Instagram, and I absolutely love everything that she makes. I just think her pieces are unique and beautiful, and I love having them on my project, even if I'm not really paying attention to them for actually keeping track of my progress. I just really like to have them there. Super cute. So that is my second whip that's tucked in my weekend knitting basket. The third one is a brand new cast on from a couple of weeks ago. I've got this one in a bunny bag as well. This one is in the color Blueberry. I cast on a new Cozy Comfort throw. I'm so happy with this project right now. It is just the ultimate relaxation knit for me. It is a comfort throw. It is a comfort knit. I love it. It's all garter stitch goodness. It is going to be colorful and squishy and beautiful, and I can just pick this up absolutely anytime without thinking about anything. It is super easy. I am using my beautiful Advent Minis from a homespun house, and the pattern is actually a design from Molly Klatt, who is the dyer behind a homespun house. And I really wanted to use her advent calendar with this project. I just thought it was the perfect pairing, and it's going to make a beautiful blanket in the end. So I have wound up the first day 1 mini. I'm holding it together with an undyed fingering weight yarn, and this is what it looks like. And I will carry through that undyed yarn and just knit double the whole time and alternate my minis. It is a really nice knit. I did start one before, but I'm kind of OCD about what I put in a project, and when I finished opening up all of my advents this past December and I looked at all of Molly's colors, I just decided I wanted to start the blanket fresh and just have it complete a homespun house project. So that is the project in here. And the last one in my basket, which I haven't really been working on too much lately, but I have worked on it this year, so I thought I would include it. It's in yet another bunny bag. This one is in avocado. And this is my Ridgeway capelet, which is a project from Clinton Hill Cashmere. using Clinton Hill cashmere yarn in Bespoke DK. I can't remember if this color is called camel or tan. It is such a luxurious treat to knit this. This was my birthday cast on last September, and I just keep putting it down and just switching my projects all the time, and I've decided to put this in my knitting basket to focus on it because I think it's beautiful. It is really cozy, and I also think I can wear this for quite a long time throughout the year. I don't think it's a winter knit. I just feel like the weight of this and the hand feel is so beautiful. It'd be perfect on cooler spring nights, wrapped around my shoulders over like a denim button down or just a t-shirt. It's super beautiful. I'm really enjoying this knit. So now that my jacket is finished, this is kind of the bigger project that I am working on before I start a couple of other projects that I've had on my mind for a while. So the only other things left in my basket are a tube of hand lotion and my little Notions pouch, which has everything I could possibly need during any knitting project. So that is my whip basket. I've been really enjoying that. I also have a large everything tote bag with a couple of other projects in it that I usually move around on the main floor with me, but I really like having this basket with a wide opening right now because my goal is to just finish a few whips so that I can move on to some dream knitting. I'm going to gather up a couple of yarns for some of those projects and share those with you next. As soon as I have a couple of those projects off of my needles, I have two new ones lined up that I am really excited to cast on. I really want to make another garment, and so I have patterns printed, yarn ready. I've even got project bags set aside waiting for these. And I'm pretty sure I shared them briefly throughout Vlogmas, but I wanted to recap because I've pulled everything out again, and I feel like I'm getting very close to casting one on soon. It's also motivating me having it out to focus on some of those projects to get them off my needles so that I can get started on a brand new garment, which is always very exciting. I don't knit a ton of sweaters or garments, and so it's kind of a big deal when I choose a new one and cast on. So the first one that I am planning on knitting is the Putney Sweater. Let's see if I can make this bigger. By Amy Loudon. And it is so beautiful. Really simple silhouette, perfect wardrobe piece for me. I've been just admiring that pattern for months, and I purchased yarn to make it quite a while ago from Dandelion and Dogwood, and I think it is absolutely beautiful. This is their Merino DK in the color Rosewood. There is something about this color that I love so very much. I think because it's kind of sophisticated and rich. It's not bubblegummy pink or sweet pink, which is also very nice, but I really love that this one just has a bit of richness to it. It's a little bit peachy, blush. It's just so pretty. And I don't have anything like this that I can think of in my wardrobe, and I don't think I've ever knit anything in this color. So this is going to be my Putney sweater. I really, really love it, and I cannot wait to knit this sweater. So that is the first project that I have lined up. And the second one is also a garment. I really have been wanting to knit a vest for months and months. I kind of wanted to cast this on in December, but I had too many things on the go. I just decided to wait. But I really want to knit the Stockholm Slipover by Petite Knit. I think it is a really simple silhouette, a very basic vest. But I thought that it would be really beautiful paired over like a crisp button-down white shirt, especially if it was in a very, not unique, but a really nice yarn. I know it would look good in anything, but I just thought something a little bit special would really make this vest exquisite. So this is my other dream cast on, and the yarn that I have set aside for that was very generously gifted to me by John Arbonne Textiles, and it is the perfect choice for this sweater. This is the Yarnadelic worsted weight yarn. It's also considered a light Aran. It is so beautiful and kind of rustic without being rough or crunchy. It's just the perfect balance between really interesting and toothy, but also soft and beautiful. So this is 100% Falklands Corriedale. It's a worsted weight light Aran. It's made in the UK, and this color that I chose is Canto di Osana. It's beautiful. I had such a hard time deciding what color to choose. These were some of the swatches that they sent me, and I can see just making so many garments in all of these different colors. I was really drawn to the brighter green and some of these turquoise blue colors and the purple. There's just so many choices. They're all stunning. And I think this is going to make a really beautiful vest. As you can see, I am kind of into this color. I think it's just a really great classic that's not too boring. It's like almost a neutral, but not. It's also got that deep saturation in it. It's really, really pretty. So that is the second dream knitting project that I have on my mind, and I'm not sure which one of those I will cast on first. They're both very tempting. We will see. I have another dream knitting project in mind, but I'm not really sure if this is going to be a pair of socks or another hat, because I've had lots of hat knitting on my mind. I know at the end of Vlogmas I shared quite a few hats that I want to knit. That's still in my dream knitting queue. I'm not going to go through all of them again because I already did, but I really want to knit something with this stunning skein of yarn that my friend Amanda sent me for Valentine's Day. It is from Sweet Skein o' Mine, and it is DK in an 80-10-10 superwash merino cashmere nylon. So it is super soft and buttery, and the color is truly madly deeply. And I love that it's kind of like this neutral color, but when you look up closely, there are all of these beautiful spots of pink scattered throughout, and then this richer kind of cafe au lait color tucked in there. I just think it's really pretty, and it will probably make a beautiful pair of socks. I think a nice cozy cashmere nylon sock would be nice, and I could even find a little pink in my stash to maybe do a pink toe. So that is going to be another cast on at some point this spring. It's really pretty. So that is my dream knitting at the moment. I have a couple of books that I also want to share with you as well. I do not necessarily consider myself much of a reader. I've always loved reading, but I have a lot of trouble finding books that can keep my interest. And I think when you have so many other interests and hobbies, it's hard to do them all. Reading seems to fall to the bottom of my list, but I recently picked up this book that my friend Courtney gave me over the holidays. I got so engrossed in this story, it kind of piqued my interest in reading again. So I've been pulling out some of the books off of my bookshelves
that have been collected in the last year or two, and I've also purchased a few more and recharged my Kindle. I've been blowing through books this past week. I think I've read 3 or 4 already. I'm trying to pace myself because I really don't want to burn out, and I do want to kind of balance my time with some of the other things that I love to do. But I've really enjoyed reading lately, and I wanted to share a couple of the things that I've read and what is on my to-read list. I'm not very good at giving recaps. I don't want to give any spoilers, so I will try to just give a super brief overview. But this is the book that really sparked my love of reading again, and it is such a wonderful story about Alice Hart. It's called The Lost Flowers of Alice Hart, and it starts in Alice's childhood. There are some family secrets, some pretty heavy issues that she deals with, and then it kind of moves on towards her as an adult, and it's just constantly surrounded by a theme of flowers. And I really loved how at the beginning of each chapter there are little drawings of flowers and a description of one that kind of ties into the story a little bit. The female characters in this book are so strong and lovable, and I just found it really heartwarming and just a really good read. So I would highly recommend this book. I really enjoyed it. Soon after that, I picked up this one, which has been on my nightstand for a couple of months now. I was hooked, and I think I read this in a day. Like, I could not put it down. I started in the evening and I could not go to sleep. I had to finish it. It is Verity by Colleen Hoover. It is a thriller. It just is gripping, and some parts of it are a little bit hard to read, but oh my goodness, this one sucked me in. I've also picked up an old favorite, which I feel like I have shared with you before, but I love having a book like this to just kind of pick up here and there, very much like an easy knitting project, like a blanket where you don't have to worry about where you are too much. You can just pick it up as you please. And that's what this book is for me. So it's been sitting out on my nightstand or on the coffee table. It's called Behind You by Brian Coldrick. And it is one-shot horror stories that are actually, I don't find them that scary, but they're a little creepy. They are 2-page spreads where you have a beautiful illustration. And then on the other page, there is just like a 1 or 2 liner that kind of gives you a little bit of a description of what's going on, or just kind of like a little cryptic blurb about it. And every single one of these illustrations has something behind the person, which I love. I just think it is so clever. The drawings are beautiful. It's just really nice to have a book that you can pick up and not really commit to long term. So I've been enjoying this one. I actually purchased this for Camden a few years ago, and I just pulled it off his shelf to have a look. And this is my to read pile. I've been collecting books for a couple of weeks now. I've actually started The Marriage Portrait by Maggie O'Farrell. I really like that one, so I think this is my next read. I'm super excited to read The Paris Apartment by Lucy Foley. I've heard good things about Sorrow and Bliss by Meg Mason. And I really do love short stories and poems, so I picked up Upstream by Mary Oliver, which is a selection of essays. So that is what I've been doing in my very limited free time. I kind of slowed down on knitting in the last couple of weeks, picked up a few books, and I've really been enjoying them. This is the current state of my studio. It is jam-packed with project bags that I'm working on for an upcoming update and a leather update that's happening this Sunday at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I have lots and lots of carry-all bags in most of the colors. I've got them in sand, brown, black, avocado, blueberry, black plum, merlot, and for the first time, I have just a couple also in sapphire, which is one of my favorites, and it was a request. I've added a few small tote bags to the shop as well. I've just been working on so many different things the past week or two. These are some of the project bags that will not be in the update this weekend, but as soon as these are complete, they will be in another update. I've got these really cute owls and this super pretty musical floral, which is a Rifle Paper Company print. I've still got to cut out this beautiful canvas for some large project bags, and then I'm also including a few of my signature denim ones. So I have lots to still cut and fuse and assemble, but this is in the works. This is what's been going on behind the scenes. I've been super busy and I'm really excited about the update this weekend. So there will be lots of carry-all bags, quite a few. I have no idea if I have enough or not. I hope I do, but if I don't worry. I am working on just updating my shop as often as possible. I've got a few other things in the works right now to restock the cylinder pouches, some bunny bags. I'll get more carry-all bags if I need them into the shop in a couple of weeks. And I'm also working on a couple of brand new leather items to put into the shop this spring. I am really excited about injecting a little bit of newness and maybe having some new colors later on in spring. For spring, summer, I'm thinking about new colors for suede bunny bags. It's just a really exciting time. I am feeling like the sunshine the last week or two has given me that boost that I needed, and I cannot wait to get moving on some brand new things for the shop. I have a couple of new knitting related items that I wanted to share with you. I was doing a bit of organizing and purging in the brand new year, early in January, in my studio. I started to tackle quite a few corners of my studio, and one of them was my IKEA cart filled to the brim with knitting notions, interchangeable needle sets, project bags, wool washes, just everything you can imagine. The cart was overflowing and really annoying me. And so I started to go through and organize a few things, and I really wanted to update the cases that I had some of my interchangeable needle sets in, because the ones that they actually come in are really big and bulky, and I just didn't think that they were great to travel with or move around with. And I wanted to kind of streamline the whole situation. I've had my eye on these Jezebel needle organizers for quite a few years now. She sells them in a couple of different colors of this heavy canvas. And she also does them completely in leather, and those are beautiful too. So I went ahead and treated myself to, I think one of them is, I don't know if it's a shorty organizer or just the smaller size needle organizer, and a larger one. I ordered one from Espace Tricot, which is a store in Montreal, and the other one I ended up getting from Jezebel's Etsy shop because I just wanted to have both sizes in the same color, and that's just how it worked out and where I found them. So here they are. They are so compact and beautiful. Jezebel is such a talented bag maker. I have a couple of her other bags in my collection. Her workmanship is impeccable, and I really love the fabrics she chooses and just the general design of this. So I ended up putting in here a brand new shorty set of Aliki, I never get that right, I can't remember, or Leica blush interchangeable needles. So these are the shorter tips, which are perfect in here, and I've got all of the cords tucked in here. This is my Gu interchangeable needle set, which is one of my absolute favorites. So I've got that in here as well with the cords and a few things. There is a little pocket in here that you can put some extra bits and pieces. So I've got all of the little parts that come with your interchangeable needle sets in there. And it is just so compact. I'm really excited to have so much packed into one little case. And this larger one, I ended up putting my regular blush interchangeable needle set that I'm pretty sure I shared in Vlogmas. I opened it up in December. It was supposed to be a Christmas present. I couldn't wait. And the case that it came in was just so bulky, and I wasn't a huge fan, and I really like this. So they fit in here perfectly. I've got all of the cords tucked in here. I've got a little needle gauge ruler, and then all of the bits and pieces for them, I can do this with one hand, are tucked in here. It's got a really great Velcro closure, a leather strap to kind of keep things organized. You could even put more needles in here. It is so beautiful, and I'm really happy with these purchases. I ended up getting them both with some Christmas money, and they were just the perfect gifts for myself to organize and keep all of my needles beautifully accessible. I also picked up a couple of these little gadgets. I'm not going to remember the exact name of them, so I'll put it up on the screen. I ended up ordering 3 of them because they have been really hard to find. They've been sold out everywhere. And I got them when I ordered from Espace Tricot. I'm pretty sure they are from Floxy Tools. And they're some kind of needle multi-tool. And what's really neat about them is they are flexible, but they kind of keep their bend. So if you drop a stitch and you just want to grab it and continue working around your project, you can stick this in. It would also be a great cable needle if you need one. And it's just really handy when you are picking up stitches and sometimes you start to lose it a little bit. You need something really small to pick them up. And I always like to have some kind of really small needle with me, especially when I am knitting on socks, because I tend to always drop something, like drop a stitch, or if I need to rip out a row and I'm picking them up, I need a little bit of help. So these are perfect. I've been tucking them into all kinds of different notions pouches here and there. So I've got that one tucked in my little notions pouch. The last knitting related purchase that I made was for some soak wool wash. I was cleaning up my cart and I noticed I was really running low on some of my wool washes, and I noticed recently that they had come out with a new scent that looked really intriguing to me. It's called Wild Mint, and I love anything mint scented or flavored. So I picked up a big bottle of the Gentle Laundry soap. It's what I used to block my Wave of Change jacket, and it smells so good. And I also ordered a bottle of their Flatter spray in the same scent. This is one of my favorite products to have. I have one in my studio near my ironing board, and I will sometimes use it to just get a couple of creases out. But what I really, really love this for is I keep it in my bedroom, in my closet, and if I've got something that's been hanging up and it's a little bit creased, and I want to smooth it out, but it doesn't really need to be washed, and I can't be bothered with ironing it, I just give it a little bit of a spritz with this Flatter spray. I smooth it out with my hands, I hang it up on a hanger, and it kind of does the trick. It's also really nice to just freshen up your clothes. I don't really wear a lot of perfumes, and sometimes it's nice to just have a little bit of a nice scent to your clothes. So I really, really like this. This is one of my must-haves in my studio, but also in my closet. I have a couple of different scents, but this wild mint is really pretty.
I am starting to lose the sun, which means it's time to wrap things up. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope to be back a little bit sooner next time. My goal is to film for YouTube about once a month if I can swing it. But in the meantime, you can find me on Instagram, on Ravelry, I have a website, and I am on Patreon. I will put links to all of the different places that you can find me down below. I hope you have a wonderful rest of the weekend, and don't forget I am having a very big leather shop update on Sunday, which is February 12th at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. There will be lots and lots of carry-all bags in the shop. I won't have the project bags in this shop update, but if you are looking for one of those, just keep your eye out because they should be coming to the shop in another update, hopefully in another few weeks. You can also sign up for my newsletter on my website if you are interested in any other shop news. Until then, I hope you have a wonderful couple of weeks, and I will see you soon.